Imagine the sky darkening in the middle of the day, the sun disappearing behind an eerie, otherworldly shadow. Throughout history, solar eclipses have captivated and terrified humanity, inspiring myths, legends, and scientific curiosity. Today, we'll explore the fascinating phenomenon of solar eclipses, unveiling the myths and uncovering the facts behind this awe-inspiring celestial event. To understand why solar eclipses have held such a powerful grip on human imagination, we first need to grasp the science behind them. A solar eclipse occurs when the moon passes between the Earth and the sun, casting a shadow on Earth and temporarily obscuring the sun's light. There are three main types of solar eclipses: total, partial, and annular. In a total solar eclipse, the moon completely covers the sun as seen from Earth. This happens because, despite being much smaller, the moon is at just the right distance from Earth to appear the same size as the sun in the sky. During a total solar eclipse, the day turns to night, the temperature drops, and the stars become visible. The sun's corona, or outer atmosphere, forms a glowing halo around the darkened moon, creating a spectacular sight. In a partial solar eclipse, only a part of the sun is obscured by the moon. The moon's shadow covers only a portion of the sun, leaving a crescent-shaped sun visible. This type of eclipse is more common and can be observed over a broader area than a total eclipse. An annular solar eclipse occurs when the moon is farther from Earth in its elliptical orbit, making it appear smaller than the sun. As a result, the sun is not completely covered, and a ring of fire appears around the dark disk of the moon. The term annular comes from the Latin word for ring. These eclipses are predictable events, occurring at regular intervals as part of the celestial mechanics of our solar system. But for ancient civilizations, lacking the knowledge of orbital dynamics, solar eclipses were mysterious, often frightening occurrences. Solar eclipses have inspired a vast array of myths and legends across different cultures and eras. Many ancient societies saw eclipses as omens or messages from the gods, often associated with fear and superstition. In ancient China, solar eclipses were seen as a dragon or celestial dog devouring the sun. The Chinese word for eclipse, shi, means to eat. To ward off the dragon, people would bang drums, shoot arrows into the sky, or make loud noises, hoping to scare it away and save the sun. This belief was so ingrained that court astronomers were tasked with predicting eclipses accurately. Failure to do so could result in severe punishment, as an unpredicted eclipse was seen as a failure to protect the emperor. In Norse mythology, a solar eclipse was interpreted as the wolf Skoll chasing and eventually catching the sun. According to the myth, Skoll and his brother Hati, who chases the moon, were destined to bring about the end of the world, known as Ragnarok, when they finally caught their celestial prey. The Vikings believed that the howling of wolves during an eclipse was a sign of Skoll's pursuit and would try to frighten the wolf away by creating noise. For the Inca civilization, solar eclipses were terrifying events, believed to be signs of anger from the sun god Inti. The Incas would perform rituals and sacrifices to appease Inti, fearing that an eclipse was a warning of disaster or a call for penance. In Hindu mythology, the eclipse is associated with the story of Rahu, a demon who drank the nectar of immortality. The sun and moon exposed Rahu to the gods, who beheaded him before the nectar reached his body. However, Rahu's immortal head still chases the sun and moon, causing eclipses when he catches them. The Hindu tradition of bathing in rivers during an eclipse comes from the belief that it purifies one from the ill effects of Rahu's shadow. Among some Native American tribes, solar eclipses were seen as a time of reflection and renewal. For example, the Pomo tribe of Northern California believed that a solar eclipse was caused by a bear biting the sun. The bear's journey continued after the eclipse, eventually biting the moon, explaining lunar eclipses as well. These myths and legends reflect how solar eclipses were often viewed with a sense of dread and awe. But they also show how deeply connected ancient cultures were to the natural world, seeking to understand and explain the universe through the stories they created. Solar eclipses have not only inspired myths, but also had significant impacts on historical events and the course of human history. One of the most famous historical solar eclipses occurred on May 28, 585 BC, during a battle between the Lydians and the Medes. According to the Greek historian Herodotus, the sudden darkening of the sky during the battle was interpreted as a divine sign, prompting both sides to cease fighting and agree to a truce. This event marked the end of a 6-year war and established the Halys River as the border between the two empires. The eclipse is one of the earliest recorded in history and is often cited as an example of the influence celestial events can have on human affairs. Another notable event occurred during Christopher Columbus's fourth voyage to the New World. Stranded in Jamaica and running out of food, Columbus used his knowledge of an upcoming lunar eclipse to his advantage. He warned the native inhabitants that his god would take away the moon if they did not continue to supply him and his crew with food. When the eclipse occurred as predicted, the frightened natives agreed to continue their provisions, saving Columbus and his men from starvation. In the realm of science, solar eclipses have played a crucial role in advancing our understanding of the universe. The solar eclipse of May 29, 1919, provided the first experimental evidence supporting Albert Einstein's theory of general relativity. British astronomer Sir Arthur Eddington led an expedition to observe the eclipse and measure the position of stars near the sun. His observations showed that the star's light was bent by the sun's gravity, confirming Einstein's prediction that massive objects can warp the fabric of space-time. These examples demonstrate how solar eclipses have influenced not only cultural beliefs, but also historical decisions and scientific discoveries, shaping the course of human history. Understanding the science behind solar eclipses requires delving into the intricate dance between the Earth, Moon, and Sun. The Moon orbits Earth at an average distance of about 384,400 kilometers. The Earth orbits the Sun at an average distance of about 149.6 million kilometers. The orbits of the Earth and Moon are not perfect circles but ellipses, causing variations in distance. These variations explain why solar eclipses can be total, partial, or annular. Solar eclipses follow a predictable pattern known as the Saros cycle, which lasts approximately 18 years, 11 days, and 8 hours. After one Saros cycle, the Earth, Moon, and Sun return to approximately the same relative geometry, and a nearly identical eclipse will occur. However, due to the rotation of the Earth, each eclipse is visible from different parts of the world. This cyclical nature of eclipses was known to ancient astronomers and is still used today to predict future eclipses. During a total solar eclipse, the Moon's shadow is cast onto the Earth, creating a path of totality, a narrow band where the total eclipse is visible. The path of totality is typically only about 160 kilometers wide, and the duration of totality can last anywhere from a few seconds to over 7 minutes, depending on the specific geometry of the eclipse. Outside this path, observers will see a partial eclipse. As the Moon moves in front of the Sun during a total solar eclipse, the rugged lunar terrain allows beads of sunlight to shine through in some places, creating what is known as Bailey's beads. Just before and after totality, one final bead of sunlight creates the diamond ring effect, a brilliant burst of light that adds to the drama of a total eclipse. It's essential to remember that looking directly at the Sun, even during an eclipse, can cause severe eye damage. Special eclipse glasses or viewers are necessary to observe a solar eclipse safely. During totality, when the Sun is completely covered, it is safe to look at the eclipse without protection, but this phase lasts only a brief moment. The precise alignment required for a solar eclipse is a reminder of the delicate balance and the incredible precision of our solar system's mechanics. It's a phenomenon that allows us to experience a rare and breathtaking event that has both fascinated and mystified humans for millennia. Before we continue, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on bell notifications to always get updated when a new video gets published. It takes only 2 seconds and helps the growth of our channel a lot. Today, solar eclipses are not just subjects of myth and wonder. They are opportunities for scientific study and popular events that draw millions of enthusiasts from around the world. Advances in technology have made it possible to observe and study solar eclipses with unprecedented detail. Astronomers use eclipses to study the Sun's corona, the outermost part of its atmosphere, which is usually hidden by the bright light of the Sun's surface. Observations made during eclipses have led to discoveries about solar winds, magnetic fields, and the behavior of solar flares. In modern times, solar eclipses have become global events. The Great American Eclipse of August 21st, 2017, which was visible across the United States, attracted millions of people who traveled to the path of totality to witness the event. The eclipse sparked a surge in public interest in astronomy, with schools, communities, and media organizations hosting viewing events and educational programs. There are even individuals known as eclipse chasers, who travel the world to experience as many solar eclipses as possible. For them, the experience of witnessing a total solar eclipse is both a scientific pursuit and a profound personal experience. Some describe it as a moment of connection with the cosmos, a reminder of our place in the vastness of the universe. As we continue to explore and understand the universe, solar eclipses remain a powerful reminder of the natural forces that govern our world. They connect us to our ancestors, who first looked up in fear and wonder, and they inspire future generations to look beyond our planet toward the stars. Solar eclipses are one of nature's most awe-inspiring events, blending science, history, and myth into a spectacle that continues to captivate us. Whether you're an astronomy enthusiast or someone just curious about the world, eclipses offer a unique opportunity to witness the universe in motion. If you enjoyed this journey through the myths and facts behind solar eclipses, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Have you ever witnessed a solar eclipse? Share your experience in the comments below. We'd love to hear your stories. As always, until next time.